Skuntank has huge power, potentially. Okay, how much does this do? That is huge power. That was with Reflect Up. That was with Reflect Up. Oh no. Oh no. Hello. Welcome back to episode number 18 of the HeartGold Ultra Randomizer Nuzlocke. We are here for what is the final arc of the Johto arc of this series. It's been a very long journey, 18 long episodes up until this point. But we are finally here and ready this time to take on the Pokemon League for Johto. Obviously, I spoke about this at the end of last episode. I had to go away and figure some things out, as there is progression within these earlier Elite Fours. What I mean by that is you can't pick and choose which order you go in, which means that the levels do scale upwards. In every single game, Gen 5 and beyond, you get to choose which order you go in. And because you get to choose the order, all of their levels for the Elite Four are the same, because otherwise it would be kind of dumb if you accidentally pick the highest level one first. But again, in these older games, there is an order, therefore the levels go up. That makes it very, very difficult when you're doing a Nuzlocke, because there is a variance of at least 10 levels on a boost like mine between the first Elite Four member and the champion. That is quite the disparity, considering this is just one thing, just 4 straight trainers and then the champion. For there to be a variance of 10 levels is pretty extreme. You normally get a gap of 10 levels between a gym leader or two. So considering I only have 4 battles, it's a little difficult. So what I've done is I've got a team together. We were down to 4 members last time because of some absolute BS, but I've rebuilt the team. We have 6 members. I've grinded everyone up. I probably showed the grinding for our 4 current members because I did that this morning. I have added 2 new members, so I have a new team of sorts to go over, to explain, and then it's finally time to hop into this final challenge for Johto. Now, am I scared? Absolutely. To be quite frank with you, I'm very, very terrified. Not because I don't trust my team. I have Pokemon like Roxy, who I put my faith in wholeheartedly at this point, but more so the fact that there is that sort of level curve within the league itself. I've tried to go somewhere in the middle, like I said, but once you get to... So this is the thing, right? Because of that, I'd like to apologize in advance. It will mean that probably for the first 2 Elite Four members, I may be slightly over-leveled. But then once you get into sort of Bruno, Karen, and then Lance territory, I'm then going to slowly go from on par to under-leveled. So you see what I mean? There's no way to fully balance this, right? So again, I apologize for the first 2 battles. They aren't going to be as scary because just how the levels work, but I also think that makes sense. The league in these games are meant to be scarier as you go along. You can kind of see it as Gym Leader 9, 10, 11, 12, right? They scale up in strength. At least that's how I see it. In the newer games, I guess they want them to be perceived as equal. They're the Elite Four, they're all equal to each other. Whereas in these older titles, it's more like you're progressing through and they get stronger with each. So again, by the time we get to Lance, I have a feeling, bear in mind, yes, I have grinded up a bit, but bear in mind, when we got here, I was level 52, I believe, on all of my Pokemon, and maybe like Roxy on 53 or something. Lance probably has up to mid-60s. So yes, I needed to grind. And again, if I was to keep my if I was to keep my levels around 53, 54, I would be on par for the first 2, I think. Will and Koga. I think I would have been around on par. Even though I'm going to level up a little bit, bear in mind it's deceptive too. You think you're going to level up loads in the league because they have high levels and stuff, but you don't end up leveling as much as you think you will. So it is kind of deceptive in that nature too, so bear that in mind. But if I was to do that and I went in with 53s, 54, by the time I get to Lance and I've maybe got a couple levels and he has up to mid-60s, I've lost. I genuinely don't think there's a feasible way that I win that battle when he is basically 10 levels above me. And I imagine his team is going to be nuts. As you could probably guess if you've been watching this, his team is going to be crazy. So I just don't think that's feasible. So it's just a necessary evil. And the reason I'm pointing this out is because the way I think I'm going to split this, I've decided I'm going to do this episode 18, which is going to be this introduction where I go over my new team. And then I do Will and Koga. Then next episode 19, I will then do Bruno and Karen. I feel like I said Jasmine earlier when I was talking about the league. Bruno and Karen, episode 19, and then we're gonna end off Johto on a bang on a round episode number 20. Crazy, there's been 20 episodes already. Episode number 20, we are going to do the big Lance battle and finish off Johto there. I feel like it's maybe kind of annoying. There's part of me that just wanted to do the league in one go. But then I don't really want to do all 5 in one go. This helps me split things up, because if I was to try and do all of this in one sitting, I'm going to be getting more tired and my brain will get more and more worn out. Because, for example, the Kimono Girls, that was 5 back-to-back battles, and by the time I was on the 4th and 5th battle, my brain was fried. So, to start things off, we have, as always, Roxy. So the way I've done the levels, as you can see, Roxy is level 58. What I've done is the rest of my team are 57, and Roxy is leading at 58. Just based on the levels that I could kind of roughly work out without looking at too much, this sits somewhere in the middle. Getting a couple levels here and there on a few Pokemon, I'm still going to be, trust me, I still think I'm going to be underleveled for definitely Lance and maybe Karen, depending on her levels. So we'll see when it comes to that. But that's where we're at. The Roxy is still the same as ever. Her moveset has remained the same for a very long time until just recently. At the end of last episode, I managed to get a move finally on the wheel. And so Discharge, which we've had for the longest time, since I think even before the first gym, is now, I think I even got it before Cherry Grove, or when I got to Cherry Grove. Long time I've had Discharge. Finally been replaced with Thunderbolt. I love the move Discharge. I actually really like it because I think the 30% paralysis is a very good trade-off for 10 power. However, big issue with it has been that all these important trainer battles are double battles in this game, and therefore I can't use discharge often in my double battles because I'll hit my own side. So now I finally have Thunderbolt. And Hydro Pump, I also, because I rolled the PP Max item, or an item which I picked PP Max, Hydro Pump is now at max PP because, of course, just like with the Team Rocket event, I imagine PP might slowly become more of an issue over time. So that's Roxy, that's our starter, that is my literal day one. If my entire team gets wiped, I would understand in this. I don't want to lose, but if I go through a massive team wipe like I did with the Kimono Girls and kind of with Archer, that's fine with me. That's par for the course for an arc like this, right? But the one Pokemon I refuse to lose is Roxy. I will genuinely be heartbroken if I have to play through Kanto without Roxy. You don't understand. I'm just going to be sad. So let's hope and pray that doesn't happen. Have anyone, let's not lose Roxy. So next up, we have Nadine. Now, Nadine hasn't been on the team for too long. However, Nadine has been exceptional, and she has got through a lot of stuff. She was the sole survivor alongside Roxy after the Kimono Girls. She stood her ground with Roxy in that final battle against Kuni of the Kimono Girls, who had an insane team of 4 Pseudos, Dialga, and Palkia. That is just crazy work. She survived through everything. So I was very neutral on Magmortar before, but now I like Magmortar. Nadine, same as usual because her levels only went up a few bits. Still holding Expert Belt, Fire Punch, Psychic, Tri-Attack, and Magma Storm, which I do tend to miss a lot. Next up, we have a newer member who was trained up after the Kimono Girl decimation as part of this newer team, Uvu, the Swallow, who is pretty good. She's actually very defensive, very nice defenses, still rocking the same moveset. She's only gone up a few levels as well. Poison Jab and Psychic for offense, and then Acid Armor and Toxic Spikes, which are very, very good utility to have, especially Toxic Spikes. I do want to try and make use of that at some point. Of course, I can't do that with Koga, but with the others, I should be able to. Probably not Will. I imagine Uvu won't see a whole lot of play this episode because the Psychic Trainer and a Poison Trainer, not really going to have her out against Psychics, and I'm not really going to put up Toxic Spikes against Poison Pokemon, right? Probably won't see a whole lot of Uvu today, but once we get to Bruno and beyond, Toxic Spikes might be super clutch, unless I get fucked up by Poison Heal again, like on that Mew. That is Uvu. Very good. Been pretty consistent, and I'm happy that we still have her. And of course, finally, the last member of the last team that we had after the Kimono Girls is Saki, our shiny Cresselia, who is a event Pokemon for us. We got her up on the Brass Tower, or Bell Tower, is it? It's the Bell Tower, sorry, up on the Bell Tower. Sturdy, which unfortunately is not modern day Sturdy. So that being said, it would have to be one hell of a hit. One hell of a hit to take Saki down from full to 0. Still got the same moveset again, Psychic, Charge Beam, Tri-Attack, Waterfall, which is all very good. Now holding the Colbur Berry, because I actually didn't have an item on her for some reason yet. Colbur Berry, if you don't know, reduces damage from a super effective Dark type move. So just in case, I do have that on there, and if it gets used up, I don't have a replacement, unfortunately. So I will just have to give her something else. But yes, that is Saki. Saki is very good. I would like to give her the leftovers one day if I can get another leftovers, because I think that would be insane. If the Assault Vest wasn't a Gen 6 item, that would be nuts on this, because as you can see, I have all attacking moves. That's Saki. Oh, it says Bell Tower there. Yeah, Bell Tower. Very good. Very glad to have this very fat, bulky Pokemon. So, 2 new members. 2 brand new members. Who do we think is going to be? First of all, I wanted to replace my lost Grass type. Grass types seem to be a curse for me in this series. A massive ongoing curse. The first one I found was an Ivysaur, which then got crit and died. And then finally got 2 more all the way in Goldenrod, and they both died in grinding. I then had Minty, who survived for a while, and then unfortunately fell in the Kimono Girl battles. And then I picked up Tina, who was very cool, the Tropius, to replace Minty. And then the game cheated and blast burned into Roxy on my Switch and took away that one. So I've lost so many grass types, I can't seem to keep them. I wanted to replace them. So I picked up Ronald. Ronald, I don't really know why Ronald has the name Ronald. I'm imagining it's just I started typing in a name beginning with R and it sort of just came to me. I don't think the name Ronald is in reference to anything specific. We have Ronald here, the Ludicolo, which is interesting because Ludicolo I don't think I've ever actually used. Ever, really. In a Nuzlocke, in a playthrough. Never really had a chance to use one. So I'm pretty excited. Water Grass is actually a very good typing. Of course, it is duplicate water, but Water Grass and Water Grass and Water Electric are very different. So it's okay. I still have the Grass type. And I'm only weak to Flying, Poison, and Bug, which are more sort of obscure typings to be hit with. So yeah, I had the Scope Lens, as you can see. And the reason is my main move will be Stab Crab Hammer, which has a high crit ratio. Doubled with the Scope Lens. Hopefully we can get some crits going off with Ronald Crabhammer. I do have the berry for super effective poison moves, which I considered, but I'm just going to try the Scope Lens for now. I'm not going to have Ronald out against Koga, of course, so a poison move would only be a random poison move from some Pokemon. The moveset, we have Crabhammer, Crunch, Cross Poison, and SD. So all these moves are physical. I do have slightly less physical attack, but as you can see, I have Sword Stance. So as soon as I Sword Stance, I'm immediately at like, what, 192, is it? 192 attack, which for reference is higher than Saki has in defenses. You know, Nadine has 155 special attack and will be at 192 on attack after 1 SD. So pretty nuts. And then these two are for coverage, as you can probably see. Fortunately, I still, even after all the grinding of Ronald up, was not able to get a grass type move, and I don't have a grass type TM. They don't sell grass type TMs. I did everything I could. Unfortunately as well, if I had another item roll, and this is probably what I'm going to do going forward, if I get another roll on the wheel for an item, I might end up going with heart scales from now on, because I probably, or maybe not probably, but there's a chance I could have heart scaled a grass move on. So that's the move set. I do have a water stab at least, and I am defensively grass type. Sturdy again, somehow, which is unfortunate because it's kind of useless unless, well, no, actually, you know, we are starting to get under-leveled as we go into the Elite Four, so I do think that maybe that will be decent, actually, now I think about it, so that's okay. Because they could, what I mean is they could actually hit me with Oko moves. Say Lance, if he actually is a bunch of levels above me, then he might actually be able to get a one-hit KO move off if he has one. So that is Ronald here for the grass type. Hopefully we can get some play out of Ronald. And last but not least, we have a brand new member, Sanai. Now, Sanai, Kangaskhan, holding the Chople Berry, which reduces damage from a super effective fighting move. And she is only weak to fighting. That's pretty good. My one and only weakness is covered by the berry. If I get hit by a fighting move, hopefully I can live it because of the berry. And then again, just like with the other berry, I'm going to have to find a replacement. That's pretty good. Natural Cure, which you never know, is kind of situational. But if I do get burnt, poisoned, frozen, etc., I can actually just switch her out and that will get rid of it naturally. This moveset is what I want to talk about. It's actually pretty interesting. So we have Strength, of course, for Stab, Protect, Reflect, and SD. We're having 2 SD Pokemon being added to the party, which is always good. Sanai will be even stronger. Sanai, will, after an SD, will be 232 attack, which is crazy. And then we have a Stab 80 power move. Very good. So, of course, Sanai is to hit hard with Strength and Sword Stance, but is also doubling as a support sort of utility Pokemon with Reflect to hopefully get up at the beginning of when she's in, do half physical moves, and Protect. Protect is the type of move that you don't think of a lot when you do a Nuzlocke. Why? Well, because you're in single battle. So, to be honest, the Protect isn't going to do much for you. And you'll notice if you've watched a lot of VGC, Protect is like the most meta move ever, with the exception of like a few things now. I think can't Urshifu attack through it or something crazy. Protect in general blocks everything, especially in these older games. So having it in doubles is crazy, because if they want to double into you and you Protect on that Pokemon, all their turns are gone. They're wasted, right? It also means I can scout things out. If I send out Sanai, then first turn, instead of just immediately reflecting, I can Protect, go for my move on my other Pokemon, and scout out whether they're going to want to hit Sanai once, twice, and what they have. Protect is insanely good. Insanely good in doubles, so I'm very glad to have it on her, and I think that she could be clutch. Fortunately, Protect does only have 10 PP for some reason. I'm not really sure why, but even still, is very good. And another thing that I want to mention before I forget, since I did before, having this Pokemon is good, because as you can see, Sanai, Saki, Uvu, and Nadine are all weak or neutral to Surf, whereas Ronald quad resist Surf. So the only multi-hitting move Roxy now has is Surf as her main water move. So if I want to use Surf, I have a Pokemon I can bring out with her that isn't immune this time, like Lemon, rest in peace, used to be, but is quad resisted, so it's going to do nothing to Ronald, okay? That's the team. That is the brand new team, and that is the team we are going into the league with. That is our final Johto team. We have been on quite the journey since the beginning, since the day we picked up Roxy. Roxy nodded. See, we're just locked in like that, bro. Just nodded slowly. We're locked in. Since the day we picked Roxy, we've been through so many gym leaders, starting with Faulkner, which that's a classic at this point. He rocked my shit. All the way through the gym challenge. We, of course, had other battles like you've seen as well. And then in recent times, we've kind of had 3 miniature arcs recently. First with the Team Rocket takeover arc, especially with Archer. Archie was insane. And then we went pretty much straight into the Kimono Girl arc after Claire. That was even more insane, arguably. 5 back-to-back important training battles. And then finally, we are here for the final arc of Johto, the Elite Four, the League. This time. All the explanation is out the way. All my talking is done. But with all that said, I have stocked up on items. I have full restores. I have hyper potions and full heals and everything I need. But I do believe, without any further ado, it is time to do the League. Once you enter this door, you'll be facing one of the Elite Four. They're really tough. You cannot exit once you enter. Are you ready? No. Oh god, okay. It will be fine. Okay, let me think actually. You know what, let me just go in first. We're locking this in. We're in now. There's no going back. It's Will time. Ooh. Oh yes, they have their Pokemon too. Oh. Wait, Will's aces are too? Will, come on. That is... Really? Oh yeah, it is. Nah. Okay, respect on Neon, the Xatu that we had. I actually did warm up to Xatu quite a bit when we used Neon because he was pretty good. But in general, you know, it's not a great Pokemon. Who do we want to fight Will with? Is actually a very good question. Do I want to do Ronald and Roxy? You know, I can also protect on Surf too. So I could have Sanaya for Surf too. Interesting, okay. Who do I want? I don't have a Psychic type answer. I don't have a Bug type, don't have a Dark type, don't have a Ghost type. I have something that resists Psychic, but I am also Psychic. Let me try the Roxy and Ronald combination to begin with. So, let me try this to begin with. As I said, this will be, unfortunately, the easiest battle because of how the levels are. But that doesn't mean I shouldn't be scared, because you never know what's going to happen. Just because their levels are lower than the rest of them are going to be, doesn't mean it's not going to be high levels and it's going to be scary. So, the time has finally arrived. We've been expecting you. I've watched all of your matches since the first gym. That's right, I keep forgetting. Every time I record, I forget. It's televised. So they know about me. They know, because this whole thing is like a big event this time. They know. They know since Claire that I've been coming at some point. That's interesting. And I'm the first one here. So, big weight on my shoulders. I must say, I'm quite a fan. Oh, okay. The last person to manage the task of taking down an Elite Four member was me. Since doing so and joining their ranks, a few have made it here, but none have made it past me. So, that's cool. That's cool. This is how you hype up the first Elite Four member, because the way I've been downplaying it with the whole level thing kind of makes Will feel weak. Then that is like a very cool tidbit to have. Like, he joined the Elite Four because he made it however far through the league. He didn't win. But he made it however many members through. And so he then became the first Elite Four member. And ever since he did, no one's even made it past him. People have made it to the Elite Four, but no one's even made it past him. I like that. This is one of the greatest walls for a trainer to overcome. Let me see what you're truly capable of. Okay, let's do this. First Elite Four member, Will. What are we leading with? Xatu and Alakazam. Neon and Delaware. Oh my god, it's even the right genders too. No, Neon and Delaware. Okay, what I'm going to do immediately is just, I think, T-Bolt Xatu, Crunch into Zam, right? I actually think Alakazam is going to outspeed all of us. It has Psychic. Roxy, I'm going to need to eat this. That's my fucking goat, bro. Damn, Xatu outspeeds too. Okay. I'm going to need to swap you out. It just hit me. Xatu is a flying type, hence why I'm thunderbolting it. I did just leave Ronald in. Maybe not the best idea, because if that was a psychic, a flying move would have done a lot of damage. If Ronald can kill with this crunch, I'd be very happy. Obviously, it's not stab, but it would be good because Alakazam has frail defense. That is very unfortunate. What is that? An Oranberry. Not sure why they're still getting items like Oranberries at this point. I would have thought the randomizer would at least give him a citrus. Azelf. Interesting. Okay, level 52. So again, as you can see, his levels are kind of the levels I got to the league with, but they will go up. They will be very quickly going up. It's so annoying. If it didn't drop the Spadef, I would surf and heal up Ronald. However, I'm a little bit scared to do that because Ronald is defenseless and is at -1 Spadef. So if they decide to target into Ronald because of it, he will die. T-Ball into Alakazam and swap Ronald into Saki. I don't know what they're going to do, so I want someone who can definitely eat up whatever hits they want to throw out. Okay, that's unfortunate. But we do eat that up. Head smash. They were going to target in. Would I have lived that? I don't know. Azelf's attack is kind of scary. Low-key. So that could have been bad for Ronald. I'm glad I swapped out. But my god, they did a lot of damage. I didn't expect X-Scissor. Did not expect X-Scissor. It makes sense. This isn't a case of the game cheating like with Silver. Obviously, X-Scissor into Ludicolo makes sense. Dusknoir. Oh god. Okay. Well, in that case, I guess I'm going to Willow Azelf and swap into Sanai, imagining that it's going to want to Ghost move into Saki. X-Scissor, this should be okay. It's not stab. Please don't crit. Okay. Willow Azelf, that shuts down X-Scissor. What is Dusknoir going to do? Petal Dance. That shouldn't do too much. Not stab. That's more than I would have expected. Petal Dance is the special one, I believe. Okay, let me... I'm just going to burn the Dusknoir. No, I want to... Yeah, I want to save my Willows a bit. Let me... I can't do that either. That's very annoying. Let me T-Ball Azelf and heal Roxy. I think it's the best option. And see what happens. I'm not a fan of the Petal Dance just going off. Wait, is it Petal Dance? Yeah, it's Petal Dance. Okay, that is the special one. Petal Blizzard, you would think is special, but it's not. X-Scissor into Roxy. That should do nothing. Perfect. How much can this do? Azelf is frail. Azelf is one of the frail ones. That's good damage. Petal Dance into me again. That's quite a lot. I'm not a fan of the damage. What is that? Attack. Wow, interesting. It actually has an attack raising berry. I'm very glad that I burnt this thing. Okay, you're confused. That's good. What I really want to do here is protect with Sanai and Surf. Take out Azelf, do damage to Dusknoir. But, if it crits me, it will probably kill. And I know what my luck is like. I just don't even think it's worth it. I really don't think it is. And I could just Surf anyway, imagining they're both going to target Roxy again. But then what if they don't and they target Sanai for some reason and then she dies? I'm just going to have to T-Ball Azelf and heal again. Kind of annoying. I don't want to burn through T-Ball PP immediately, but it can't be helped right now. I need to get this Azelf out of the way. I don't want to burn the Dusknoir because... Oh, I completely forgot about that. Oh, that's actually really bad. That is pretty bad because it has +1 attack now. Perfect. Roxy, you're so clutch. Please hit yourself. So perfect. So perfect. Okay. I'm going to do what I said then. I'm going to Surf. Would Surf kill? I'm scared Surf won't kill. And you're at +1. I need you gone now. And then I'm just going to Reflect. Damn, you're fast. Huh? Okay, I'm sorry. I just was not expecting that. I really wasn't expecting that. Okay, I've got the Reflect up. That's pretty good. Azelf is gone. That's also good. What is coming out next? If you can hit yourself again somehow, that would be perfect. Petal Dance. Okay. Oh. Oh. That's your ace. You have a crest too. In that case, let me burn the Cresselia and heal up Sanai. I just like the burn for the residual. This is a very bulky Pokemon that's very annoying to deal with. And if it does have physical moves, that shuts them down too. Let's see. Psychic. Ooh, I mean, you're defensive. That shouldn't do too much. Okay. Oh my god. Like, twice in a row? Really? That is very unlucky. That is very, very unlucky. Hit yourself, please. Is Petal Dance one of those random moves? Like where it selects a target randomly and that's why it went after Sanai? Is that why? I don't know. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to Surf and Protect. Hopefully she Psychic... Oh, sorry. He Psychics right now into... Yep, perfect. How much is... They're both very bulky. That's the thing. I don't think it's going to do much. Okay, I'll take that. Perfect. What I'm going to do... Okay, here we go. I'm going to heal Saki on Roxy's turn. And then swap in here. I think that's the best course of action. I have everything I can do. Need Saki back in to start defending against these moves. Mud Bomb. How much is that going to do? It shouldn't do much. Okay. Petal Dance again. Into me. Oh, of course, into me. Into Roxy, I mean. I'm going to Surf Heal because I'm pretty sure Saki can just eat this Surf up like it's nothing. So that, I think, is probably the best course of action for right now. It should be fine, right? Saki does have very high speed air. Mud Bomb. So he can lower my speed. Oh yeah, that's fine. Dusknoir lived. Oh, what is that? They all have these low health berries. Attack. I mean, this one's special. We've been over that. And it's targeted into that. I think it's random. I do think it is random. The Reflect is gone. I don't think that matters. What is that? Another red health berry? Speed. Oh, it's already fastest on the field, I think. I think I'm just going to do Surf and then just heal up Saki, I guess. Again. I think this will take out both of them right now. I don't know what... You going to Mud Bomb again? Okay. That's fine. Dusknoir will be dead before it even gets to move. Speed? Accurate. Really? 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 On the same turn? Please tell me that kills. Dusknoir obviously dies. Tell me Cresselia dies. No, that does not die to the burn. What am I talking about? That's very unlucky. But it will die on the next turn. Unless he has another Floristore. Does he have two? No, I think he would have used one by now. Drapion. Interesting. So he has Ghost and Dark coverage. Which makes sense. Something about the Drapion is kind of scaring me. Oh, it's a Dark type. Yeah, that's what's scaring me. Let me burn it. Oh, fucking hell. No. Let me heal. I don't really have a switch in. Okay, I'm going to Uvu because there's no reason why Cresselia should Psychic into this slot. Right? Okay, that's fine. Is Drapion going to go for a Dark move? That's what I was scared of. Accuracy's gone again. That's terrible. Oh. That's really bad. I am unaware on Roxy, which is perfect for right now. But, of course, Uvu is not protected by that. So that's a little bit terrifying. I'm going to burn this thing immediately to shut it down. But the real problem is I can't really do anything with Uvu. I'm just going to have to set up Acid Armor. And so hope that, you know, even if it keeps setting up, it can't really touch me. I'm just going to Poison Jab it from now, I suppose. But what I'll do to be safe is, let me Hydro Pump it, and then just heal up Roxy, just to be safe, just in case it wants to crit me on some craziness with some move like Boomerang or something that is hiding. Oh my god, I just realized I'm such an idiot. I'm not going to land Hydro Pump. I'm at -2 accuracy. Please land somehow. Please land somehow. Oh my god. Roxy the goat. Roxy the goat. Roxy the goat. Roxy stays the goat. How much can we do? That's good damage. That is such good damage. Okay, you die next turn. I'm going to make a strategic play of swapping Roxy and Acid Armoring to maintain PP. Perfect. Okay. Ooh. We're done with Will. Now again, just think. This one, his ace was 55. So, you know, his ace was creeping up to my levels. But in general, his levels were lower than mine, right? If he had this team, but he was one of the higher level ones, like above my levels, as you can imagine, that would have been scary. His team was really good. He had very good psychic types. He had both a Cresselia and an Azelf. He had a Dusknoir and a Drapion for coverage. And then obviously his Xatu and Alakazam. He had a very good team. It appears the rumors and what I've seen of you is true. You are a formidable trainer. Since you have defeated me, if you are to lose in the next battle, you have the right to claim the space from me. Right, okay, so that's how it works, and that makes sense. Because you imagine if this was a real thing. Yeah, if I was to lose here, being the trainer that I am, on the level I am, then yeah, I could claim an Elite Four spot from now on for next year going forward. It's up to you. Proceed and show the world what you're capable of. Well, here's the thing, Will. I'm not going to lose, so I'm not going to be taking a spot. I'm going to be taking Lance's spot. That's what I'm going to be taking. Let me just quickly heal up the little loose ends off my Pokemon. Normally, quite often, you'll see me not care particularly. I think when it comes to the league and stuff, every single HP point can matter. Yeah, I may be, you know, missing only 5 HP, but what if from full, a move was going to take me down to 2 and I would have lived? Well, then I'll die. And if I'd been at full, I would have survived, you know? That's the way I look at it. Okay, so Koga. And this is also what I mean. I know they were slightly lower leveled, but let me just point out, I didn't get a single level on a single Pokemon from that battle. You think you're going to gain a bunch of experience, but it's not like that. Koga, poison types. Let me lead maybe these two? Could be good, maybe. A psychic type. And then, oh, I don't think I've had Saki behind me yet. There's a shiny sprite. Yeah, I think this could be good, right? A psychic type for the poison types, obviously. And then Sunight's just good support in general. Okay, Koga time. Ooh. Wait, was there a weather effect in that room? And I just didn't pick up on it? I feel like there was. But because of the particles, I just didn't notice it. It's raining in here. It's definitely not normally raining in here. But I like it. It kind of fits. What's up, Crobat? So he is going to be leaving for Crobat, of course. That is his, like, signature, I do believe. I don't know what else he's going to have. It'll be very interesting to see. Wahahaha. I'm Koga of the Elite Four. I live in the shadows, a ninja. I don't keep up with the TV and such outside matters. An actual, genuine, legitimate unk up here in the league who is so old he doesn't even watch TV. Which, you know, we're in a day and age now where TV is becoming a boomer thing. So he is quite the old man. And such matters, such outside matters. But young Will warned me of your likelihood to arrive more swiftly than anticipated. Right, so he hasn't been keeping up with things because he's a ninja, he's old, he doesn't care about all that. But Will has told him that, you know, I exist, I'm a strong trainer, and to expect me to one day arrive, and here I am. Ha! I welcome the challenge. The idea of being holed up in here without a challenger for so long was mortifying. True, there wouldn't, you know, there was potentially not going to be a single challenger of the league for a long, long time. For a long time, I was a gym leader in the region of Kanto. Then, one year, I wanted to reach my true potential, and thus I traveled the Johto region for 4 years honing my skills. Ah. Okay, so there was 10 years ago, there was the events of Red, and obviously at that point he was still a gym leader in Gen 1. Well, it's not specified whether it's immediately after that, but sometime after that, he wanted to get better. He was already decent. He was, what, 5th gym leader? 6th gym leader? 5th gym leader. So still pretty good, all things considered, but he wanted to get stronger, so he came to Johto for 4 years. As my time was up, I was chosen by a legendary Pokemon. Oh? Allow me to show you. Now, it does make sense. It does make sense that all of the league would be chosen by a legendary Pokemon as well, because of their, you know, how powerful they are. Interesting, okay. So, Muck and Crobat, and the rain is up. So, good thing I considered Nadine, so good thing I didn't bother with Nadine. Let me charge Beam into Crobat to start trying to get some boosts. Do I want to reflect or protect? I want to... Okay, I want to bait. I want to see if they want to touch Sanai. Let's see. Gunk Shot. And they do go into me. Into Cresselia. I'm kind of wishing I reflected now. Don't poison me, please. Cool. Please get the boost. I kind of need boosts on Saki to start doing good damage. Please. God damn it. Okay, that won't do much. To be fair. It is in the rain, though. That's annoying. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to heal Saki on her own turn. And then I'm going to get my reflect up now. Don't gunk shot into Sanai now. Okay, so we're kind of cheating. That's interesting. Please don't do too much or poison me. It poisoned me. We get the reflect up now. Sanai is deceptively fast. I'm a little bit scared. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you for throwing. Thank you for throwing. So what I do now, I suppose, gunk shot is weakened. Let me charge beam yet again, trying to get my boost. And let me full restore Sanai so I can get rid of that poison. That reflect hopefully will be clutch. Hopefully I don't get poisoned again. That will be annoying. Poison's gone. Gunk shot again. Impressive how you're landing this many. I definitely would have missed one by now. Okay, nice. Saki. There's a very high chance. I really need these boosts. I really do. Cool. I really don't understand. Maybe there's something I'm missing, but I really don't understand why I just can't seem to get these boosts on Saki. It's very confusing to me. I'm going to do that, and now I'm going to try and use this opportunity while Amok is kind of throwing. You have... what is about 2? Interesting. While Amok is kind of throwing, I'm going to use this chance to try and get my SD up. Charge beam just unfortunately just won't kill, I think. I just want one boost at the very least. Thank you. Okay, cool. Well, at least at +1. That's decent, I guess. The question is, do I bother trying to get one more boost? Because of the PP, I just don't think it's worth it. So I guess I just Psychic into you because he's going to full restore, right? And just heal up Sanai now. Is he going to full restore? Yeah, so there's full restore. This is stab now, and stronger, and +1. So this should probably do about 70%, I reckon. Not going to kill, but it will do a lot. Yeah. Yeah, look, exactly around that much. Mark is, I don't know, he's just got himself into this infinite loop of being stuck into Last Resort, despite the fact he can't use it. This is very unfortunate for him, but I will take it. Let me just pull a tri-attack kill. Let me just Psychic to make sure, and let me then Strength into Muck. What do you want to do? Water Spout? Crobat has barely any special, so it's doing nothing even in the rain. Okay, there's a Strength. How much can it do at +2? Let's see. That's good damage. That's good damage for a Strength. We take those. Okay, so Crobat's gone. That's good. Crobat is strong and fast. And had Gunk Shot. Who is coming out next? A Reflect is gone. I do want to get that back up. Oh! That's the legendary he was chosen by. I wasn't expecting that. I certainly was not expecting that. I can't do anything to you. I'm going to try and get some sort of status off on you and Reflect again. There goes my berry. That's very unfortunate. I wanted to keep it longer than that, to be quite honest. Okay, it didn't do too much. I do get the Reflect up. Can I get some sort of status on you? This thing is so bulky and annoying. I really hope I can get something off on it. Wow, see how little that did? I got nothing. Okay, Marcus found himself out of the loop. Try attack again and heal Sanai. The Wake Up Sap will actually do the same amount. Now I have the Reflect up. So that's good. It'll be doing nothing. It really didn't do much as far as I'm aware. Leaf Storm. I'll take that because that's not going to do too much and it will drop its special in half. So I'm not complaining about that. Can I get... I think a freeze or a burn would be what I'd want here. A freeze. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Wait, what did it just go for? I actually don't know what the bug just went for. I just saw that it missed. Okay, let me heal Saki on her own turn. And then let me strength the Lugia. I See how much damage I can do. I'm at +2, and on top of that, I think that Lugia is defensive all around, but I actually do think it's more specially defensive than it is physically. Oh, wow. Okay, we're cheating now, are we? 10% chance, by the way. 10% chance. We're just cheating. We're just cheating the system, are we? Because we're the AI, so we can just decide to do it. That's cool. That's cool. Good damage, though. I would just like to point out that Tiramisu, in the first gym against Faulkner, got frozen, I think in the first or second turn, and proceeded to be frozen for at least 10 to 15 turns straight. In fact, she never unfought. She sat on the field the entire battle and never unfought. Because per turn, you only have a 10% chance. And he got it first turn. I call BS on that. I call BS, but you know what? I don't care, because I'm going to heal Sanai on Saki's turn, and I'm going to strength, and Lugia's going to be gone. I'm leaving the Muck there just for now, because it's not really seeming to threaten either one at the moment. And this Wake Up Slap is annoying because it doesn't do too much, but it is still a somewhat decent amount. I don't know. I like that. You know, for some reason, like the idea of Koga with Lugia, I like it. I actually like it a lot. He came to Johto, he trained up, and he was chosen by Lugia. Acid. That wouldn't missed earlier. I'm probably going to maybe... Skuntank. Oh, no. That's bad. Skuntank has huge power, potentially. We had Violet the Skuntank, so I know that this is a thing. Payback. Of course. Okay, how much does this do? That is huge power. That was with Reflect Up. That was with Reflect Up. Oh no. Oh no. I need to get Reflect Up. Oh, this is like worst case scenario. If the game now decides to sort of cheat and target into Sanai. Okay, I outspeed. Please don't target Sanai. Oh my god. Okay. This was necessary. Because the only way this could be handled is to then swap back into Roxy, use the Hyper Potion, and while Reflect is up, I can live a payback, and then I can burn it. I can Will-O-Wisp it right now. If I can outspeed it, that's even better. I don't. How much is this going to do? That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. That is with Reflect up, by the way. So while Reflect and Burn is up... Okay, sorry, I'm starting to stress a little bit now. While Reflect and Burn is up, I need to target this thing immediately and get it gone. Uru's healed. I want to Hydro Pump in the rain. Please land. Okay, Roxy, I know you landed like that 50% one earlier. I really need you to land this one. Who are you paybacking? Okay, Uvu can live. To do less now? Yep. Thank you, Roxy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, as always. How much can I do? This is in the rain. It's gonna die. Oh my god. Oh my god, that is so stressful. I've lost Sanai. That's pretty bad, huh? That's pretty bad. I mean, to be fair, you can't blame me. That damage, that means if I didn't have Reflect up, Roxy would have got one shot switching in on a payback. That is just absurd, bro. That is absurd. Obscene, even. Okay. Ban it. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I switch into Ronald. It has no reason to acid me. No. I'm going to stay in for this turn. I'm going to acid armor. I'm going to burn this Bannet. For a start, something about Bannet is screaming to me that I've seen counter Miracle or Destiny Bond, but I think I'm overthinking that. And I think I'm conflating this with another series. Uru is at +6 right now. Oh, I forgot about that. Oh my god. I forgot about that. Okay, I think I know what to do. I'm going to Poison Jab into Bannet and heal up Uvu. I know it's resisted, but I am, as far as I'm aware, at +6 attack right now. So this should be able to either kill or almost kill. Shadow Claw again. It shouldn't do much. It outspeeds me. I only did this because I thought I outspeeded it. Outsped it. Uvu. Thank you. How much does this do? Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. I think there's one more Pokemon. That's going to come in. Toxicroak. Okay. Level 55. I guess I'll Psychic it. And try and burn it in case I don't break through. It's using Psychic. Okay, it's non-stab and special. It shouldn't do much. That's actually... I might have just messed up. Because what if I hit myself? Uvu. Oh no. Okay, fucking hell. Why is this thing like stuck and insisting on swaggering me? I don't know. I don't really understand it. But I guess at this point, maybe I'm better off just switching. This should be fine. If they psyching in swagger, that shouldn't do much. Surf shouldn't do too much, even in the rain. Sucky is just that bulky. I don't think this is going to kill either of them. Does a lot though. Damn, okay. Muck actually has... Muck is kind of like Gyarados. It has unsuspectedly high special defense. Physical defense is whatever, but its def is actually pretty high. Okay, let me just Waterfall to finish this thing off. And just like I did last game, let me just swap to... Really? Okay. Did Will have 2 full restores as well? Or do they have 2 from here on out? I'm going to have to keep that in mind going forward as well. Damn. I was going to say, that seems like way too much damage from a physical move from Saki. Okay, let me just Waterfall and heal someone, I guess. That shouldn't do much. It's not stab. Okay. Definitely more than I thought it was going to do. This should be it. Even without a crit, this should definitely kill. Okay. Second Elite Four member down. However, he did have a casualty this time. Elite Four Koga. He was definitely scarier. That's for damn sure. Seems you're indeed as strong as I've been warned. Unlike others, who may be upset to finally lose after so long, I'm happy to have another trainer who is true competition. Hope we may battle again someday. I like that. That's the kind of humility that I can appreciate in a trainer for sure. And not only that, but he's just happy to have someone else on his sort of level that he can battle. He's just in it for the love of the game, you know. Oh, we lost Sanai. But at the same time, you have to admit that given the circumstances, that was probably one of the best outcomes. Something was probably going to die, no matter what. It's just, I didn't want it to be Sanai because she was honestly doing the most in the beginning of that battle. And she's been really fast and sort of just putting in decent work, doing a lot of damage. And it's just a shame. It's just a shame to lose her so fast, you know? It is very sad. So, the first half of the Elite Four down. We are 1 member down. We are now 5 strong. Let me swap you to the back. And let me heal up real quick before I forget. Let me use my lemonade since I'm outside of battle. Okay. Now, as I explained at the beginning, that is all for now. This is our first episode. The first 2. Will and Koga. Pretty good. I'm feeling decent. As you can see as well, though, as I tried to say, I've not leveled up once on a single Pokemon. So for some reason, every single time I'm thinking, well, Elite's gonna let me balance my levels around the fact that I'm gonna level up. But that isn't necessarily the case because it's just not happening. Surely Roxy is close to leveling up, right? No, not really. Wow. Yeah, this is not the training that I was gonna think it was gonna be. I may have underestimated a little bit, and I may be a little bit terrified of Karen and Lance, especially Lance. I don't really know what to expect of Lance. And I think I mentioned this last time. The only thing I know about Lance is that when he was at the Lake of Rage, he had a Rayquaza with him, not a Dragonite. I'm assuming his ace is Rayquaza, which is a little bit scarier than Dragonite, for sure. Quite fitting for the Dragon Master, to be fair. I do like that a lot, but the idea of that Rayquaza terrifies me, and who knows what else his team is going to be. I dread the thought. We'll deal with that when we get there. Next time, we'll be facing down Bruno and then Karen. Kind of excited to see their team, especially Karen. I'm a big Karen fan, so I'm excited to see what her team is looking like. But yeah, that's it for now. Rest in peace to Sanai, unfortunately, but team's still going strong, and hopefully we can continue to do well and come out of this on top. But now, that's everything, so until next time.